Thanks for joining us at xm.com for this special report. I'm Christina Marujos. Joining me today is Senior Investment Analyst Mario Sechikiriakos, and we'll be looking at the FX market and how the vaccination rollout around the world has become the main variable driving currency moves lately. Mario's the vaccination champion undoubtedly has been the UK, and this has offered the pound much support. In addition, cable rose to hit the psychological region of $140 this week. Is there anything that could spoil the fun for sterling here?
Hello, Christina. Well, I think that the overall outlook for sterling is still positive. So you had very quick vaccinations. The UK economy will probably be among the first to reopen properly. And overall, the economic situation looks pretty good. However, I do see a few risks as well. So the first one and the biggest one is the quality of vaccinations. Even though the speed of vaccinations in Britain was stunning, most people have received the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. And that is not particularly effective against many of the new variants. So I see a risk that as Britons go abroad for the summer, for vacations, for example, and they return back to the island, you might see a new wave of infections take hold, even though most of the country might be vaccinated at that point. Now, the other risk is that while Brexit has moved out of the spotlight lately, political risks haven't disappeared overall. So we have tensions in Northern Ireland, and we also have voices for another independence referendum growing louder again in Scotland. So I think that the overall picture is quite encouraging, but there are a few risks to pay attention to in case they do materialize.
Turning to the dollar now, the Fed and the Biden administration have flooded the market with stimulus while the vaccination program is moving flawlessly, which boosted the dollar initially. However, it appears that the rally is losing steam. Are we looking at a dollar downtrend?
I very much doubt that. So yes, we have seen the dollar lose some altitude lately. That has coincided with the markets becoming more skeptical about when the Fed might raise interest rates again. So in the first quarter, we had the markets pricing in a Fed rate hike by late next year. That has come under doubt lately because the Fed continues to insist that it will not raise interest rates prematurely. That has taken the wind out of the dollar's sails in a sense. However, the overall US economy is doing fantastically well. You have really unprecedented levels of stimulus, and it's difficult to be pessimistic on the dollar at this point. Despite the Fed's rhetoric, the economy is so strong that the Fed will most probably be among the first central banks to scale back its QE program and then raise interest rates again. And that, I think, ultimately will keep supporting the dollar.
On the other hand, we have the Eurozone, which had a bumpy ride regarding the vaccination rollout, but lately it is catching up to its American and British counterparts, in turn offering the euro much support. On the other hand as well, we have Japan, who has fallen way behind, bruising the yen in return. Is there anything on the horizon to offer the currency a much-needed rebound?
Well, for the yen, I very much doubt it. Japan's rollout has been the slowest among the G10 economies, and there isn't much scope for Japan to catch up either. The nation was very late in placing its orders with the vaccine manufacturers, so it seems like Japanese businesses and shoppers will have to live under the shadow of the pandemic much longer than anyone else, and it also seems like the Bank of Japan might be the last major central bank to move away from cheap money policies. So what could rescue the yen? Perhaps a new virus mutation that is very resistant to the existing vaccines, or some other major shock that sparks panic in the markets. But outside of that, I think that the overall outlook is pretty negative.
Marius, thank you for joining me today. This was a special report here at xm.com.